Sound check. 1, 2, 3. Sound check. Good morning. Do you hear me well? You can write on chat board. Do you hear me? And how is the quality of my sound? Okay. Muffled, but it's understandable. Okay. I'm here. Fine. Please, if you see any any problem on hearing or the screen sharing, please warn me. You can write on to the chat board, or you can turn on your voice and you can talk. Please do it. Uh, okay, we'll start with the result of the review test, and this is the result of the average. In the meantime, the attendance, the self-attendance, this is self-check-in. It is currently open and clear. We will, uh, that it was like, let me say, this should be 400. So it is really low than the average. That might be the problem for some of you first time using the test classroom, and that might be some confusing. But is not really uh, close to the 80%. Especially the particle. Some material we'll see we are going to use in our later section. Okay. Again, the self-timing open on the blackboard and wait, please. What we are going to do today, again, very quick, It is 3 credit course. We are starting at 8 o'clock, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we have office hours at 9 to 9:50. Again, the same Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The links are provided. You are going to use the given links that is on the syllabus. And the grading policy, attendance and class participation 10%, and 7 coming from the attendance. And weekly and lecture quizzes, that is 30%, and raised for homework problems and reading assignments. Block quizzes 10 will be graded. Higher scores are considered if you and midterm exam 20%, and then 20%. Continue off and so for the project, okay, the first we have to form the group. So we are 28 students right now. We might consider 4 average, might be to three is good. If it is average, then the 4 is good, and might be 5 if it is a little bit heavy work. So my request, you can do it right now. Okay, communicating with your partner. So send me 4 names, presenting the 4. Will send me the names of the partners. Okay, so for consider it as a group. But if you do not send me name, then I'm going to make it. I'm going to form randomly. Okay, by email. What is formation? Send me a name, then I will pick up the name randomly and form the group. Please do it today. Okay, you can arrange it while you are listening. Okay, I will appreciate. Okay, so if you send me, let's put a time. If you send me until 6 o'clock today, okay, 6 p.m. So then I will consider that as a group and the partners. But if you don't send me any name, then I will form it arbitrarily, random. Okay, the first job, what we do to submit a proposal. What is the proposal? So the definition for proposal: a document that offers a solution to a problem or a course of action in response to need The act of offering or suggesting something for acceptance, propose the plan or schema, an offer or suggestion. I will skip that part. Actually, academic research proposals are generally written as part of the initial project. Yeah, the motivation. And then specify the core idea behind the project, significance of the project, why you are choosing, what is the importance of the project, what kind of tools are needed. Tools means not a machine shop. These tools generally the computational ones. Okay, probably you choose represent this one technically. What is the way to represent it? We are going to use some computer programs, some the drawing programs. Okay, might be the CAD we call it, the computer-aided design. So one of the program SolidWorks might be programs like ANSYS or Abacus or uh, and I defined it in my syllabus. I will go back to the syllabus again and we'll see what is the information about the proposal over there. And the references, a very quick, very short reference list. Might be some Google links, whatever it is. And let me first go to the syllabus. So here, the project information. In our syllabus, it says the project will be a design and analysis work of a machine consisting of at least three components. So at least three components means that is something we call it a device or machine. So it is combination of three components. Might be a shaft, gear, spring, uh, the flywheel, whatever it is. So that is that is combination of should be at least three components. Additionally, the background of project is expected to cover both technical, at least one of social, ethical, economic, environmental aspects. So we encourage you to choose one of the subjects that is related to one of these issues. For example, environmental. If you choose a recycling device, so that is going to be in this list. So that is important point you have to consider when you are choosing the topic. The grade weight of this project is significant and makes up 20% of the final mark. The objective of this project is to understand first-hand knowledge of how ordinary mechanical components are used in machine design. Students will gain an understanding of what should be considered when creating a machine for this component, and this knowledge will form a first-hand design and analysis experience. So when you are choosing your title, you can choose one of them that might be something you already studied, work on that, or let's say you are going to have a design, the senior design project, so capstone, I mean, for that, it might be a start point for your design project. That is also acceptable. So you can start it here and then you can extend it and your uh, the future next semester or whatever you are when you are going to take this senior project. So that might be a kind of starting point, preparation for this project. Every student will take part in one of the projects which are assigned by instructor or chosen by the students themselves. Again, I ask you to please send me your suggestion, your partner names, but send me only one email from each group, and I will consider this one as a group. If you are not going to send me any name, then I will form your group, picking up the names from the list randomly. Each project should be done by a group of students, three or four. If it is something very special and very big project, that might be five. At the end of the semester, these groups will prepare a project report and present their project in front of the class. That's going to be virtual, of course. Projects report will be a written document and should be as professional and neatly done as possible. Use of computer tools such as AutoCAD, SolidWorks, ANSYS is expected. The number of parts, assemblies, and complexity of mechanical items before attempting its disassembly should be carefully considered. The chosen subject should be in a moderate difficulty, not so simple and not so complicated one. This is another option for choosing the project. Could be a reverse engineering. The number of part assemblies and complexity of a mechanical item before attempting its disassembly should be carefully considered. The chosen system for reverse engineering should include at least four different machine components. So if you are building new thing, three components, if you are disassembling and considering that is a reverse engineering, it should be at least four components, such as gear, shaft, spring, bearing, whatever it is. So the chosen subject should be in a moderate difficulty, not so simple and not so complicated. So this is for the report. We can talk about this one later, but we have to talk about the proposal again. I mentioned a little bit. So the first week, introduction of the project idea and formation of the teams, and the second week, the project proposal. It is at least one page written document showing the specific objectives of the project and the subject. So the first, identify the machine to be assembled or disassembled. Justify the significance of group motivation. Identify the intent method, what kind of tools are needed. Suggest the timeline. Actually, I already put the timeline here. Okay, this is tentative course schedule. Excuse me. This is low. Okay. The tentative project development plan. It is something that is a template kind of. Okay, just you are going to adopt this one to your project. So the first week, project group forming, tentative project proposal, drawing, assembly, material analysis, stress analysis, presentation. Those are already listed over here. You are just going to adopt this one to your project. So it is already given the timeline. Just when I meet with your group, with your team, I look at the timeline and say uh, you are late or you are going very well. So timeline will put your situation clear. So suggest the timeline for completing the work, suggest duties of the group members. And 12 week mandatory meetings, group studies. The Fridays are the project days. So sometime, not every Friday, I will uh, give you 10 minutes or half hour, just updating and uh, uh, coming together with your group members and talk a little more. And I will ask to have individual meeting with your group members and then understanding what is your situation level or improvement standing on, on the project. And the specific date for presentation and final report, that is the project. And some example, okay, might be, as I said, that is encouraged to be chosen from one of the social, ethical, economical, environmental aspects. So that is one of the we have some examples as implant. Those are very popular right now, and those are kind of devices, and it is, as I said, at least three components. We see some bolts or screws and some parts, different kind of parts. So that might be one of the subjects. Another one might be dental implants. As you see, those are some the components. Those are the machine components. So you might concentrate on one of the subjects with this dental implant. Might be some prosthesis, and that is a waste management. That is can pressure. You can do a can pressure. Another one that is the helmet and the stress analysis on the helmet. Uh, the wheelchair might be another consideration. Okay, at the end of the or throughout the the semester, how I'm going to give credit or grading for your uh, progress. So the proposal and punctuality, that is 20 points, teamwork 10 points, and presentation, it is 20 points, and report. You are going to submit a written report. So that is going to be 50 points or 50%. So this is uh, I'm just looking at the chat board for attendance. It is not working. It is not working. Let me see why it is. It is not currently working. Uh, do you have when you have difficulty signing in on the Blackboard, you can change the browser. Okay, if you are trying from your device that is like a cell phone, might be it is creating problem. But if you change the browser, instead of using Chrome, you can uh, try Edge, and I believe that is the problem. Other than that, I don't know why the attendance giving you hard time. Okay. Again, if you are having problem, just send me email. I will do it manually. Okay. So far we covered this part. Do you have any question about the project? You can ask, or you can write onto the chat box. So far, okay. Just 5 minutes. I give you 5 minutes to decide who is your partner and send me email. Okay, just 5 minutes. I will give you 5 minutes to talk and decide who is going to be your partners and send me email. I will continue after 5 minutes. Okay. So you are discussing about the partners. You can communicate with your. Okay, I have got one email. Okay, so in Japan, my group. Okay, I have got one group suggestion. So please do it. Okay, it is just 3 4 minutes more. Just talk to your friends or your the partner and send me the list. Send me the list. You can do it during the daytime if you cannot reach your partner, but at least if you send me right now, I will put it into the list. I will form that one. Hopefully, Monday is going to be clear. Again, if you do not send me the names, I will pick up from the list randomly and form it. That is, if you send me until 6 o'clock today, so it is going to be clear. Otherwise, I will do it. I have got another one, David, India Pan and David. Send me the group partner's name. Yes, I'm going to post this slides this afternoon. It is going to be available on the Blackboard. Whatever you see on the screen, those are the slides and handouts, whatever it is, those are going to be available on the Blackboard. And this is going to be available this afternoon. Okay, let us continue. As I said, it is a little bit disappointment, this review test. I was expecting better results, but it is very low, uh, and we have to spend a little more time. We still, I will spend more time to review some parts from the fundamental course. Okay, so the book we are following, you see it on the screen right now. That is a very famous book. It is Shigley's book, and that is a long time on the uh, circulation, and it is like 40, 50 years accumulation, and it has very nice examples. It is one of the probably best source in our library. If you look at the end chapter problems, it is covering many practical applications. So I suggest keep this book in your later days, in engineering days. You need it always, just in terms of the data you are collecting, you might need that is for different reason for the design issues, and also the example problems. Those are very good chosen, and that is representing from very different areas, various areas, and if you make some similarity, and you can uh, get some solution for your current problem. So that is a wonderful source for designers. Okay, the chapter one, it was talking about the introduction to design, and if you remember, this is an introduction and talking how we approach the design, and design also defined in this chapter. So when you look at the mechanical engineering designs, those are requiring very broad disciplines, and one of the example here, the journal bearing. So this requires fluid flow, heat transfer, friction, energy transport, material selection, thermomechanical treatment, statistical descriptions, and more. So when you are only designing the journal bearing, you need to study, you need to have some background from different disciplines. And different design, we see this one, and that is why it is a little bit complicated and difficult job. So in our fundamental part, the earlier semester, we studied some background for the applications. So the first and the second chapter, we studied the materials. That was a kind of review for engineering materials class. And the chapter 4, it was talking about the stress analysis, and in that part actually it was a kind of review for the mechanics and statics and dynamics, and also strength of material or engineering mechanics. And the fourth one, the chapter 4, it was talking about the deflections. So that is another important consideration in any of the design. And this ends with the chapter 4. And then another part starts, that is two sections, two chapters, chapter 5 and 6. 5 talks about the variable, static loading. So the failure criteria for the static loading. If it is not a dynamic design, dynamic uh, machine, there is no any say, vibration or any fluctuating or variable loading. So it is a static loading like a construction. Okay, imagine a construction like a house. It is an important construction member, the columns and beams. So those are not having any variable loading. Those are considered as static. But if it is variable loading, like a rotating shaft and gearbox, those are uh, considered as variable loading conditions. So the chapter 4, 5, we studied the static part, the, the failure approach, how we are evaluating, elaborating, or what, when the failure starts in a static condition, in a variable loading condition. So that was the earlier part. We supposed to know, and we supposed to have good background about that. And then we're supposed to start with the shaft, the chapter 7, and talk study the shaft design. Uh, But before starting the shaft design, probably I will spend 3-4 hours for reviewing, and I'm going to assign some homeworks from the earlier chapters. So today, on my posting, at the end of the chapter, you will see some assigned homeworks. So those are going to be due next Friday, and they're going to be uploaded onto the Blackboard again when you solve the problems. Okay, so it is going to be available this afternoon. So design process, it is an iterative process. So requires initial estimation followed by continued refinement, and that is a kind of iterative. Uh, that is identification of need, definition of problem, synthesis, analysis, and optimization, evaluation, presentation, and it continues. There is no stopover here. If you need that machine, imagine a vacuum cleaner. Okay, so when it is invented before the electricity was available, before the electricity, and it is like a below kind of mechanic system. Then, with the invention of the electricity, that is changed to another shape. So it is more than 100 years we are using vacuum cleaners, and today it is in different shape. Well, we see it is, we call it robot or something, the fully automated, and a small machine. It is navigating all around the home and trying to clean or vacuum everything, cleaning by vacuum. So that is a kind of cycle, or let me say iteration. Always there are some new improvement in different area, and you are applying those new improvement, new invention into your design. So that is always over there. So the some characteristics that influence the design, there are many. It is listed over here, 26, and more than that actually, depend on what kind of design you are working. And computational tools, we are extensively using those computational tools, from drawing to analysis. So that is an essential part of the design. Any use of computer and software to aid in engineering process, including computer-aided design, web 3D solid modeling, which is very common right now, and computer-aided manufacturing, PNC, repeat prototyping. We are not using this part in our project or in our studying right now. It is another actual subject, another course that is the computer-aided manufacturing. Engineering analysis and simulation. So in this part, we are going to analyze, and we are going to learn how to analyze component, a design member. And we also use some math solvers, spreadsheet, procedural programming language, equation solver. So those are all computational tools what we need in our design. So acquiring technical information, that is also very important. If you are designing something new, Okay, you say I'm going to design a new machine. So the first of all, you have to look at to the literature and dig out what kind of the similar machine already invented or developed. So that is very, very important because if you are not following or observing what is happening in the world, then you are going to you try to discover something that is already done. Okay? So that we are very fortunate. We have very good sources, the libraries or online checking or online investigation tools. So it is now easy to reach any of the similar work, especially the patents are important. Those are available in different sites. It is the patent and US patent, and also you can uh, access to the European patent as well, or other countries' patents. Those are available online. So when you are designing something, you need to know what is available in the market or what is proposed earlier. That is going to be a last point. Actually, it is last point for that design, but it is the first point for your starting. And the professional societies, American Society of Mechanical Engineering, Society of Manufacturing Engineers, Society of Automotive Engineers, there are many societies, and those are listed in our book, the Shigley's book. It is in the first chapter. So if you are interested in any of them, I suggest you please I suggest this that be a member, one of them or whichever you are interested in. That is important, and if you put it in onto your resume, your CV, it is a very plus point for getting a position. And there are many advantages. Those the promotions from this uh, societies to the students. Generally, they are not charging membership fee, or those are very symbolic, very small. It is like $10, $20 a year. And so they are keeping you always informing you about what is happening, and they send you the journal that they publish. So that is a good advantage, good way to become a part of this society. And commercial vendors, the catalogs, technical literature, test, test data. So those are the most of the information right now we are accessing. Those are the catalog information. So whenever the the manufacturer producing something or that is available on the market, we have all the details of those components or whatever the parts of the machine. So that is a good source to get some information. I will stop here. It is time to stop, and we'll continue on Monday. Again, the material what I covered today going to be available on the Blackboard this afternoon, and I will post some homework assignment. Please look at it and try to solve. Those are going to be some VB problems from the earlier fundamental part. So again, if you didn't sign, sign the Blackboard, the sign in attendance, and if you're having trouble still, send me email. And one another thing I ask you, please send me your suggestion for the partners, for the project partners. If you send me, I will put it as it is. If you are not going to send me, I will pick up your name from the list and I will form it randomly. Thank you for your attendance and see you on Monday. Bye now.